Morning everyone, welcome to the opening ceremony launch event for Cricket World Cup, and thanks everyone for your attendance. My name is Therese Walsh and I head up the Cricket World Cup here in New Zealand. Today we're going to take about 30 minutes of your time just to talk you through some of the aspects of the opening ceremony that will be hosted here in Christchurch early next year, announce some of the fabulous talent that we've got in store for you and some of the special features of the event. I would like to start, however, by acknowledging our co-hosts, Australia. Given the sad developments of the last 24 hours, our thoughts and prayers are with them all at this time. I'd also like to take the opportunity to welcome our special guest here today. As you know, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, the Right Honourable John Key, the Honourable Nicky Wagner, the Mayor of Christchurch, the Honourable Lianne Dalziel, and other councillors, the CEO of Canterbury Cricket, Lianne, representatives from New Zealand Cricket, the Christchurch Festival Trust, Sarah and Naitahu. And of course, no Cricket World Cup announcement would be complete without some cricket legends. So I'd like to introduce Sir Richard Hadlee, Stephen Fleming, and our very own captain of the Black Caps, Brendon McCullum. So these three gentlemen will be playing a special role in the opening ceremony next year, and we hope to take them from cricket legends to stage legends during that time. It is fitting to have the announcement here today in Christchurch, given the special role that the city is going to play in the Cricket World Cup. It is now surprisingly and very quickly almost a year to the day since the PM turned the sod at Hadlee Oval. And today we have a very beautiful and boutique cricket ground and pavilion here in this very park. It is one of Christchurch's first legacy projects to be completed following the earthquakes, and will allow not only Cricket World Cup to be played here in Christchurch, but will allow for cricket to be played at an international level into the future. Just to briefly recap Christchurch's role in the tournament, Christchurch will host all warm-up matches here in New Zealand for the Cricket World Cup, featuring teams such as Sri Lanka, South Africa, Zimbabwe and New Zealand. It will host the opening ceremony, as we know, and we'll discuss that shortly. We'll also host the opening match of Sri Lanka versus New Zealand on Valentine's Day. And as many of you will know, that match is currently has its ticket allocation exhausted. The following Saturday, Pakistan versus West Indies will play, and tickets to this match are also selling very fast. This will be followed 2 days later by England versus Scotland. One thing we know from sure, and we can see coming through in our ticketing sales, is that there'll be a lot of people visiting Christchurch. There'll also be a lot of official groups, media, broadcasters, fans, family and friends of teams. So Christchurch is going to be full and it's going to be buzzing, and I think there'll be a really fantastic vibe. I know that the Christchurch City Council has some great things planned for both locals and visitors, and so before we get into the opening ceremony announcement, I'd like to welcome the Mayor to the platform to say a few words about it.
Thank you. The Right Honourable John Key, Prime Minister of New Zealand, the Honourable Nicky Wagner, Associate Minister of Canterbury Earthquake Recovery, Sir Richard Hadlee, Stephen Fleming and Brendon McCullum, Therese Walsh, Head of the New Zealand Cricket World Cup 2015, and Councillors Raf Manji and Tim Scandrett, who have accompanied me here today. Prime Minister, thank you for coming to Christchurch today to be a part of the announcement that will set the scene for our city for 2015. Next year, our catchphrase is 2015 Christchurch, it's happening. And it really does feel like it's happening. And that all starts on February the 12th when we host the opening of the ICC Cricket World Cup 2015. We are very grateful for the financial support that the government has allocated to ensure that this event is the enormous success that I'm confident that it will be. I've had a sneak preview of what the opening ceremony will be like, and if I can choose one word, it would be spectacular. Utterly spectacular. I'm sure thousands of people will literally pour into the city centre in order to be part of this occasion. And as for the cricket itself, we have the newest and, in my view, the world's most picturesque test venue ready and waiting for this global event. I can't believe it was less than a year ago that you were here for the turning of the sod. This will be an iconic oval. Absolutely no question about it. Cricket fans from all over the world will want to come and watch cricket here. Hadlee Oval is testament to the hard work of so many people who were determined to turn what was a dream into a reality. There is huge support in the city for this event. When the Cricket World Cup went on tour last month, hundreds of people from every age group, representing every cricket-loving nation in the world, played a part. They turned out to see the cup that we are planning to win on our home soil. No pressure. Christchurch people love their sport, as indicated by the response to the ticket sales already. The first game, an absolute sellout, and everyone seems to be heading to the Oval for the Boxing Day test. And as you'll see from the three cricketing greats that we have here, all with strong links to Christchurch, we are a city of sporting legends. The Minister always says we should aspire to be the sporting capital of New Zealand. I think we've achieved that already. The Council is 120% behind this event, and we will make sure the thousands of visitors heading this way will feel welcome, but more, they'll feel inspired by their visit to Christchurch. This will be bigger than anything we have ever hosted before in our history. Attending the opening of a sporting World Cup is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for Christchurch residents, and as I said before, it is going to be spectacular, and I am very much looking forward to being a part of it. Thank you.
Thanks, Lianne, that's fantastic. I think from a Christchurch perspective, I can certainly feel the momentum building, and there's a lot of exciting things going on. So now on to the details of the opening ceremony, and just to give you a bit of backdrop or context, Cricket World Cup is one of the top 5 sporting events in the world, and it's a pretty normal, it's par for the course to have an opening ceremony for an event of this sort of size and scale, and that's what we're going to do. Cricket World Cup follows hot on the heels of the Rugby World Cup, and New Zealand is fast growing its reputation in terms of being a global player in the space of hosting these mega sporting events. However, this time will be the first time that we co-host something of this magnitude with Australia. We're working hand in hand with Australia on this project at a government level, at a sporting level, and at a business level. And our hope is that it will provide a great example of how we can do things together as countries into the future. New Zealand and Australia will both host opening ceremonies. They will be hosted in Christchurch and Melbourne, respectively. In order to allow some team representatives to be present at the opening ceremonies, they will be held on the evening of Thursday, 12th of February, which is just 38 hours before the opening match. In the case of Christchurch, it will be held at North Hadlee Park,